I never thought we'd see the day when several million people would tune in their television sets every week to cheer the villain. But it happens every Wednesday night on CBS with the 20th Century Fox production of Irwin Allen's Lost in Space. Our villain, of course, is Jonathan Harris, an actor who can hardly be called retiring. The more correct adjective would be flamboyant. Welcome to our microphone, Mr. Harris, or should I say Dr. Smith?
Jonathan Harris is surely my name, but I am known, coast to coast it appears, as Dr. Smith, the great villain of Lost in Space. In a way, I've lost my identity. It's very interesting. Harris is almost no more, and Dr. Smith is everything. Well, that's fine, because that's exactly what I do every day at 20th Century Fox from 7 o'clock in the morning till 7 o'clock at night.
And being Dr. Smith most of your waking hours, does Jonathan Harris get to have much of a life of his own?
Oh, indeed I do. When I get home to my handsome house on a hilltop, I become Jonathan Harris, country squire, opera buff, gardening nut, and gourmet cook.
One thing that is much a part of your personality is your precise diction. Is this natural to you, or did you acquire it through your years of study and stage work?
Oh, diction. Yes, I do have very precise diction, and it is surely an acquired state of affairs. I was born in New York City, as you may know, and my original speech was truly New Yorkese. You know, no R's like huh, and D's and D's and 33rd Street, and actually I did talk that way. The diction that you hear now is self-acquired by spending countless days and years in the movies, watching B-English movies, which amused me and which taught me to speak the language. It's actually very precise stage diction. I think maybe I've gone too far, but actually I love it. It doesn't really matter.
Love of the drama came to you during your college days at a New York university, but still you completed your formal education and got a degree. What had been your original plans for a career?
Well, get ready for this. I became a practicing pharmacist in New York City. I really was. I went to Fordham University and got a degree in pharmacy, and I practiced that heaven knows why. Always in the back of the head was the bug to be an actor. And somehow it didn't germinate as quickly as I had hoped it would, but it was just, it worked out very well. I will never cease to be grateful for the marvelous experience of working in the drugstores in New York City.
Then, during your early days, when you did turn to acting, you played in 125 different plays in touring stock companies. It must have been quite a challenge to your powers of memory.
My powers of memory, and I'm knocking here a small piece of wood on my table, have always been fantastic, and I hope it continues. It does require a great deal of work and a great deal of memorization, which is so much now a part of my life that I never even worry about it. I am known in the trade, as we say, a quick study. I've always been a quick study, and I hope it continues. Don't have a photographic memory. I have known actors who did have marvelous, they take a look at the page, and there it is in the head. I hate them, because I have to sit and bone and work, and it takes a lot of work, and it's part of my life. One does it.
There is one memory from the past that you must be especially proud of. You did the first live network television show out of New York, didn't you?
Yes, indeed. I did do the first live commercial television in New York. The studio, I think it was Channel 5, the Dumont studio, and it was on the 5th floor of Wanamaker Store. And it was crazy. We used wild purple makeup, I remember, purple lipstick, and it was all full of distortion, and a far cry from the exquisite perfection of our television today.
Well, that perfection you mentioned is very apparent in the sets that you have in Lost in Space. In color, they're really magnificent.
Absolutely magnificent. We have, I think, the finest color on the air today. We have a magnificent cameraman, Kit Carson, who's a great artist, and Mr. Allen has spared no expense of time, mind, or money in giving us production values that I think are staggering. And if you've watched our show at all in color, it's got to be the finest production value color on the air today.
I know that all of your filming is done on 2 stages there at 20th Century Fox and that you don't go out on location. I've often wondered, what is the material that's used on the ground of the strange planet you're on?
It's sand. It's sand. Endless tons of sand, which we have on the planet. And of course, in the sand are these wonderful color things that we use. We're so wild. We can and do use orange trees and purple smoke, and it's all marvelous.
You've always been a well-known actor, but with the impact and popularity of Lost in Space, you're considered to be a star. What effect personally has this being a television star had on Jonathan Harris?
I don't think the nature of the beast ever changes. One is what one always is. One was always an actor, and one is still an actor. The word star, what does it mean, really?
You know, many actors from the stage and movies rather look down on television as a second-rate medium. Do you?
Absolutely not. I love television. I'm grateful for television. It's done a wonderful, wonderful thing for many of us. It gives us exposure. It makes us personalities. Also, much more important than that, it gives the actor a chance to practice his craft every single day. How marvelous that is, you see. You practice your craft and perfect it. And only in a television series are you able to do that. So I'm exceedingly grateful. This is my third series, you know. And I've loved every moment of it. People very often ask, which is your favorite series? And my answer must surely be the one I'm doing now.
How has your character of Dr. Smith evolved? He certainly got to be the most unusual villain in television.
That took a little doing. One seeks and one finds, you know. I started off really as a deep-dyed villain and a saboteur, and have graduated from that into the comedic villainy, which I much prefer. I think there's a lot more longevity in it to begin with, and also it gives me the opportunity to go sailing in every which direction, which is marvelous for the actor. I can go anywhere and come down again, and it's great fun is what it is. I approach my work with enthusiasm and love, and I like to think that shows on the screen. In other words, I am truly having the best time you ever saw.
As Dr. Smith of Irwin Allen's Lost in Space, seen Wednesday nights in CBS, you go through the wildest adventures on strange planets with terrible monsters whizzing through space. As Jonathan Harris of Hollywood, would you like to be one of the astronauts out there getting ready to head for the moon?
I would rather die.
Thank you, Jonathan Harris. This has been Dick Strout reporting from Hollywood, returning you to our main studios.